A mini cut refers to a short period of 3 to 6 weeks spent in a calorie deficit to lose some body fat. Because of the short nature of a mini cut, the fat loss progress you can make in this period is typically also more rapid. A mini cut is mostly used in the middle of a bulking phase to help you manage fat gain. But a mini cut can also be used to prepare for a short-term event or kickstart a longer fat loss process. In this video, I will discuss what a mini cut actually is and how you may benefit from doing a mini cut depending on your goals. I will first start by describing when a mini cut is typically most useful, and then we will look into the specific setup of a mini cut. As mentioned, a mini cut is a relatively short fat loss period. The goal during a mini cut is not to lose large amounts of fat, but to maybe drop 5 to 10 pounds of body fat in a 3 to 6 week period. So this is more suited for a situation like when you are in the bulking phase and are experiencing that maybe your body fat percentage is getting a bit higher than you're comfortable with. Like I discussed in one of my previous videos, maintaining a calorie surplus and doing a bulking phase has benefits for muscle growth. Eating about 10% above your maintenance calories can help you develop muscle more quickly by allowing you to train harder and giving your body more energy for muscle buildup. But a byproduct of doing a bulking phase and eating in a calorie surplus is that you can also gain some body fat throughout the process. When you notice your body fat increasing to a level you don't want it to go, you then can decide to perform a mini cut to lose between 5 to 10 pounds of body fat before continuing your bulking phase. This way, you keep your body fat levels within a reasonable range as you go through your bulking period. So you can get the muscle growth benefits of a bulk, but you also keep your body fat in a comfortable range. But next to doing a mini cut while you are in a bulking phase, doing a mini cut can also be helpful if you need to prepare for a short-term event. For instance, I train a coaching client that has a boxing event and has to lose about 7 pounds in a month for that upcoming event. In this situation, a mini cut focused on losing fat at a more aggressive pace has its value. And lastly, about when to use mini cuts. With some of my clients, I also use mini cuts to help enhance short-term motivation in a fat loss phase by losing fat more aggressively in a 3 to 6 week period. And this is mostly relevant for obese populations that still have a long way to go in their fat loss journey. As indicated by research, having relatively fast initial weight loss can help enhance motivation and long-term dietary adherence if done properly. Now, there are also cases in which I wouldn't recommend using a mini cut, and this is mostly for individuals that struggle with nutrition consistency. If for the past few years your weight has been going up and down, I would not aim to go in a short-term rapid fat loss period like a mini cut. Instead, in this case, I would focus on having a more sustainable long-term fat loss approach, one with a more moderate rate of fat loss and also something that fits your lifestyle. And I'll make sure to link in the description a video I made on how you can create a sustainable fat loss phase. All in all, we should not see a mini cut as a quick fix for your long-term fat loss goals, but it's simply a helpful tool for situations like during a lean bulk, to prep for an event, or to push yourself a bit more when you're ready for it. So now that we have discussed when to use a mini cut, let's look into the specific setup. A mini cut by definition is short of nature. Because it's only a 3 to 6 week period, you can typically push a bit harder in a mini cut than when you have a 3-month or longer fat loss phase. Whether you should do a 3-week mini cut or go all the way to 6 weeks will of course depend on how much fat you would like to lose in this mini cut period. A realistic aim for most people during a mini cut is to lose around 1 to 1.3% of their body weight in a week. This is quite aggressive, but also not too quick. For a 180-pound individual going on say a 4-week mini cut, this is losing about 7 to 9 pounds in a 4-week period. This should also put into perspective how much fat you can expect to lose during a mini cut. When you drop 7 to 9 pounds, you will definitely notice significant leaning down, but you can't cram an entire fat loss phase into something like a 4-week mini cut. Maintaining a calorie deficit of about 25% is a good aim. So if your maintenance calories is 2400 calories per day, then eating 1800 calories throughout a mini cut is a good goal. If you don't know your maintenance calories at the moment, then I will link a video in the description below that I made that will help you determine your maintenance calories. As you maintain this 25% calorie deficit in your mini cut, I suggest you track your progress measures via body weight measurements and waist measurements to make sure you are on track with your fat loss goals. Now, a common concern people have when it comes to doing a mini cut is, won't you lose muscle if you maintain a slightly more aggressive weight loss rate throughout this mini cut? And the nice thing is, because a mini cut is by definition a short fat loss period, the risk of muscle loss if you do things right is pretty low. Noticeable muscle loss tends to occur as you stay in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time, and when you start noticing your energy levels in the gym suffering. By the time you reach the point in which your energy levels may decrease due to eating in a calorie deficit for too long, your mini cut is already almost over because it's just a 3 to 6 week fat loss period. Metabolic adaptations tends to also be less of a concern during a mini cut. Because in a 3 to 6 week period, your metabolism won't adapt much, especially if you jump back into maintenance calories or even back into lean bulking right after this mini cut. With that said, it still is key that we continue lifting weights consistently and consuming enough protein throughout a mini cut to avoid unnecessary muscle loss. A common mistake during a mini cut is that people think that now they should only lift with light weights or start doing a lot more cardio to boost their fat loss. But if you start eating in a deficit and then stop lifting weights or lift weights less, you do risk unnecessary muscle loss. In a mini cut, I would see your nutrition as the main driver of your fat loss progress, and then when it comes to training, you keep that focus on strength to help you retain muscle. Ideally, you continue with the same lifting program throughout your mini cut. Your training does not have to change when you shift towards a mini cut. It's mostly the nutrition that changes. If you would like to give your fat loss progress a boost during a mini cut, then doing something like going on regular walks is helpful. But I would not start doing a lot more cardio than usual because this can impact your recovery capacity related to strength training. If you do decide to incorporate some cardio in your mini cut, I would limit it to 1 to a maximum of 3 moderate intensity cardio sessions per week for most people. About protein, I would continue consuming at least 0.7 grams per pound of your body weight on a daily basis in protein to support muscle retention. The calorie reductions you make in the mini cut should mostly come from your carbs and fats, not from reducing protein. So based on what we discussed in this video, there are 5 key points about maintaining a mini cut. A mini cut is a 3 to 6 week fat loss period. I would mostly use mini cuts as a way to manage fat gain in a lean bulking phase, but it can also be used to prep for an event or kickstart a long fat loss phase. Losing between 1 to 1.3% of your body weight per week is a good general aim during a mini cut. This can generally be achieved by maintaining a 25% calorie deficit. And I would suggest continuing to prioritize lifting weights throughout your mini cut to support muscle retention. And that was all for today's video. I hope you now have a better understanding of what a mini cut is and how you can set up a mini cut. If you found this video helpful, then I would appreciate your support by leaving me a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you in that next video.